What if I told you that some of the very vegetables you've trusted your whole life, the ones you believed were keeping you healthy, might actually be the reason your body odor gets worse after 60? It sounds unbelievable, but it's true. As we age, our metabolism slows down, our sweat glands change, and our digestive system becomes less efficient. That means the foods you eat don't break down the same way they used to when you were younger. Instead, certain compounds linger in your body longer, escaping through your breath, your skin, and your sweat. And the result? A stronger, more unpleasant odor that can make you feel self-conscious, even around your loved ones. Here's the part most seniors don't realize. Vegetables, the very foods we often think of as super healthy, can be a hidden culprit. Some are loaded with sulfur and other compounds that seep right through your pores, leaving you with an odor that soap and deodorant can't fully cover. But here's the good news: other vegetables do the exact opposite. They can naturally cleanse your system, hydrate your body, and even fight off the odors that make you feel embarrassed. So in today's video, I'm going to show you the 3 worst vegetables you should never eat if you want to control body odor after 60, and then I'll reveal the 3 best vegetables you must eat to stay fresh, confident, and odor-free every single day. Before we dive in, please subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss another senior health tip. And let me know in the comments. Type 1 if this is helpful, or 0 if you think I can improve. 3 worst vegetables you should never eat. 1. Onions and garlic. They're in almost every kitchen in America. For generations, we've been told they're healthy, great for the heart, good for circulation, even protective against colds and flu. And much of that is true. But here's what nobody told you. These same vegetables can also make you smell stronger, and the effect is especially noticeable after 60. The reason is sulfur. Both onions and garlic are packed with sulfur compounds. When you chop an onion, you can smell the sharpness right away, that sulfur being released into the air. When you cook with garlic, the aroma fills the entire house. That's sulfur too. But here's the problem. Your body doesn't break down all of those sulfur compounds. One in particular, called allyl methyl sulfide, lingers in your system for hours. It travels through your bloodstream, escapes through your lungs, and even seeps out through your skin. That's why after a garlic-heavy meal, your breath smells sharp, your sweat smells stronger, and no amount of deodorant can fully mask it. For younger people, this effect may be mild and temporary, but in seniors, the problem becomes worse. Why? Because digestion slows, liver detoxification weakens, and sweat glands change. Compounds that a 5-year-old might process in a few hours can stay in the body of a 70-year-old much longer. That means the odor isn't just stronger, it lasts longer. 2. I think of Mr. Raymond, a 8-year-old patient who loved his garlic chicken. He told me, "Doctor, I shower twice a day and still feel like people step back when I talk." His family admitted that after dinner, the smell in the house lingered for hours. Tests showed nothing medically wrong, no infection, no unusual sweat gland disorder. The culprit was simply his daily use of onions and garlic. Once he cut back, replacing garlic-heavy meals with lighter herbs, the change was remarkable. He felt fresher. His confidence returned, and even his grandchildren noticed the difference. That's the cruel irony of onions and garlic. They're healthy for the heart, yes, but they're also powerful odor makers, especially in seniors whose bodies can't process sulfur as efficiently. Eat too much, and you're not just seasoning your food, you're seasoning your sweat. So remember this: onions and garlic, while healthy in small amounts, can silently sabotage your freshness after 60. If you think garlic and onions are surprising, wait until you hear about the leafy green vegetables that can also make odor worse for seniors. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now, let's move on to point number 2. 2. Cruciferous vegetables like cabbage, broccoli, and cauliflower. For decades, these have been celebrated as superfoods. They're high in fiber, packed with vitamins, and even linked to lower cancer risk. Doctors often tell patients to add more of them to their plates. And yes, they do provide health benefits. But here's the side of the story no one talks about. These same vegetables can quietly worsen body odor, especially in seniors. Why? The answer is sulfur again. Cruciferous vegetables contain a special group of sulfur compounds called glucosinolates. When you chew and digest them, those compounds break down into hydrogen sulfide gas. If that name sounds familiar, it's because hydrogen sulfide is the very same chemical that gives rotten eggs their unmistakable smell. That gas doesn't just stay in your stomach, it escapes through your breath and your pores. For younger bodies, the effect may pass quickly, but for older adults, whose digestive systems process food more slowly, the smell can linger far longer. Imagine this: you sit down for dinner, enjoy a bowl of steamed broccoli, and think you've done something wonderful for your health. A few hours later, though, your family notices a sharp, sulfur-like odor in the living room. You shower, you change clothes, but the smell seems to follow you. That's not your imagination. It's the sulfur compounds escaping through your skin. I once treated Mrs. Lane, a 72-year-old retired librarian, who came to me feeling embarrassed. She said, "Doctor, I eat healthy, but people avoid sitting near me at church. I don't understand why." We reviewed her diet, and it turned out she was eating cabbage soup nearly every day. While it helped her lose weight, it was also flooding her system with sulfur. Once she reduced her intake and swapped some servings for spinach and parsley, her confidence slowly returned. She told me later, "I didn't realize my healthy choice was making me feel so isolated." That's the tricky truth. Cruciferous vegetables are nutritious, but for seniors, too much can cause social discomfort. It's not about eliminating them completely, it's about moderation and balance. A small serving here and there is fine. But daily, heavy portions? That's when odor becomes a real problem. So the lesson is clear: even the healthiest foods can have hidden downsides. If you think cabbage and broccoli are harmless, wait until you hear about a vegetable that doesn't just cause odor, it creates a very specific smell in both sweat and urine. Now, let's move on to point number 3. 3. Asparagus. It's a vegetable, often praised as elegant, served at fancy dinners or recommended as a nutrient-dense side dish. Many seniors choose asparagus because it's low in calories, high in fiber, and loaded with vitamins like A, C, and K. On the surface, it seems like a smart, healthy choice. But there's one problem: almost everyone who eats asparagus knows within hours, your body starts to smell different. And after 60, that smell can be even stronger, harder to hide, and far more embarrassing. Here's why. Asparagus contains a unique compound called asparagusic acid. When your body breaks it down, it produces sulfur-based byproducts. These compounds are volatile, which means they easily escape into the air. They leave the body not only through urine, giving it a distinct odor, but also through sweat. For younger people, this odor may fade quickly, but for seniors, whose metabolism is slower and detox systems less efficient. These compounds hang around longer. That means the smell of asparagus doesn't just stop in the bathroom, it follows you into your day, on your skin, and in your breath. I recall Mr. Bennett, a 70-year-old retired engineer. He loved asparagus and made it part of his dinner 3 nights a week. His wife finally admitted that she dreaded those evenings because the next morning, the whole bedroom had a lingering odor she couldn't stand. Mr. Bennett was mortified. He had been showering twice a day, using cologne, even changing his clothes more often, but nothing seemed to help. The problem wasn't hygiene. It was simply the sulfur compounds from asparagus lingering in his system. Once he cut back to having asparagus once a month instead of weekly, the problem nearly disappeared. That's the reality for seniors. Asparagus may be nutritious, but the side effect is real, strong, unpleasant odor that no amount of soap or deodorant can mask. It's not dangerous in small amounts, but it can rob you of confidence in social settings and make you self-conscious in your own home. So remember, even so-called premium vegetables can have hidden downsides. For seniors, asparagus is one of the worst offenders when it comes to odor. Eat it occasionally if you enjoy it, but don't make it a regular part of your diet if staying fresh and odor-free is your priority. Now, here's the good news. Not all vegetables cause odor. In fact, some fight it. There are vegetables that cleanse your system, neutralise sulfur compounds, and actually make you smell fresher. If you think asparagus is bad, wait until you hear about the herbs that can turn your body into its own natural deodorizer. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now, let's move on to point number 4. 3. Vegetable you must eat to stop body odor. After 60. 1. Parsley and mint. These are not just garnishes to decorate your plate. They are powerful, natural odor fighters that can transform the way your body smells from the inside out. For centuries, cultures around the world have used herbs like parsley and mint to freshen the breath and cleanse the body. And for seniors, they're more than just flavor. They're a simple, natural way to neutralize body odor. The secret lies in chlorophyll. Both parsley and mint are rich in this natural green pigment, which acts as a gentle, internal cleanser. Chlorophyll binds with sulfur compounds and other odor-causing chemicals in your digestive tract, helping to neutralize them before they can escape through your sweat or breath. On top of that, mint contains refreshing essential oils like menthol, which not only leave your mouth feeling clean but also give your body an overall fresher scent. Think of it this way: onions and garlic load your system with sulfur that leaks out through your skin, but parsley and mint act like a sponge, soaking up those compounds and reducing their effect. The result? Less odor, more confidence, and a feeling of freshness that even deodorant alone can't provide. Let me tell you about Mrs. Harding, a 8-year-old grandmother who came to me frustrated. She loved cooking with garlic, but hated the way it made her feel afterward. Her grandchildren would hug her and say, "Grandma, you smell funny." It broke her heart. I suggested a simple change: sprinkle fresh parsley into her meals and drink mint tea after dinner. Within weeks, her family noticed the difference. Her breath was cleaner, and her body odor was lighter. She told me with a smile, "Doctor, I feel like myself again. I don't worry about hugging my grandkids anymore." The beauty of parsley and mint is how easy they are to add to your daily routine. Toss a handful of parsley into a salad, blend it into a smoothie, brew a cup of mint tea after dinner. Even chewing a few fresh leaves after a meal can make a real difference. Small habits add up to big changes, especially after 60, when your body needs a little extra help to stay odor-free. So here's the takeaway. Parsley and mint are nature's deodorants. They don't just cover up odor, they fight it at the source. If you think herbs are powerful, wait until you see what a simple vegetable like cucumber can do to cool your body and wash away odor from the inside. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now, let's move on to point number 2. 2. Cucumber. At first glance, it might seem too simple, too ordinary. But when it comes to fighting body odor, cucumber is one of the most powerful vegetables you can add to your diet. Why? Because cucumbers are more than 95% water, and that hydration is exactly what your body needs to flush out toxins and reduce odor from the inside out. Here's how it works. When your body is dehydrated, sweat becomes more concentrated. That concentrated sweat mixes with bacteria on your skin, creating a stronger Shapa odor. Seniors are especially vulnerable because the sense of thirst weakens with age, meaning many older adults walk around slightly dehydrated without even realizing it. Cucumbers help solve that problem. With every bite, you're adding hydration, minerals, and antioxidants that cool your system and dilute odor-causing compounds before they ever reach your pores. But cucumber does more than hydrate. It's also rich in chlorophyll and antioxidants, which work like natural cleansers. They help neutralize sulfur and ammonia inside your digestive tract, two of the main culprits behind unpleasant smells in sweat and breath. In other words, cucumber doesn't just cover odor, it helps prevent it at the source. Let me tell you about Mrs. Alvarez, a 70-year-old woman who struggled with strong body odor despite showering twice a day. She was embarrassed at social gatherings and even avoided hugging her friends at church. When we looked at her diet, I noticed she rarely ate raw vegetables and often skipped drinking water. I recommended something simple: add cucumber slices to her daily meals and drink cucumber-infused water in the afternoon. 3 weeks later, she came back, glowing. Her odor had decreased dramatically, and she felt confident enough to join her walking group again. She told me, "Doctor, I never thought something so simple could make me feel this fresh." The best part about cucumbers is how easy they are to include. You can eat them raw in salads, blend them into smoothies, or slice them into water for a refreshing drink. They're cheap, available year-round, and gentle on the stomach, perfect for seniors who need both hydration and odor control. So remember this: cucumbers are nature's cooling system. They hydrate, cleanse, and keep you smelling fresh from the inside out. And if you think cucumber is helpful, wait until you hear about spinach, the green powerhouse that fights odor with chlorophyll and strengthens your body at the same time. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now, let's move on to point number 3. 3. Spinach. Of all the vegetables you can add to your diet, spinach might be one of the most powerful when it comes to fighting body odor, especially after 60. Why? Because spinach is loaded with chlorophyll, the green pigment in plants that works as nature's own deodorizer. Here's how it works. When you eat spinach, the chlorophyll inside it helps bind with sulfur and ammonia compounds in your digestive system, the very same compounds that escape through your sweat and cause odor. Think of chlorophyll as a cleanup crew that sweeps away the chemicals before they reach your skin. On top of that, spinach is rich in magnesium, a mineral that helps balance your body's pH and supports healthy bacteria in your gut. Both of these effects work together to reduce the unpleasant odors that can make seniors feel self-conscious. Spinach also supports better circulation and oxygen delivery. When your blood flows more freely, your body can process waste products more efficiently. That means fewer toxins building up and fewer odor-causing compounds escaping through your pores. For seniors, whose bodies naturally detox more slowly, spinach offers a gentle, daily boost. Let me share the story of Mr. Thomas, a 72-year-old retired carpenter. He came to me complaining that despite good hygiene, his grandchildren would sometimes pull away when hugging him. His wife admitted that he had a strong smell, especially after meals. Looking at his diet, I noticed he was eating cabbage almost daily but hardly any leafy greens besides lettuce. I recommended he swap a few servings of cabbage with spinach. Within a month, the change was obvious. His wife smiled and said, "Doctor, he smells like himself, again, not like the kitchen after dinner." Mr. Thomas felt confident enough to attend social events he had been avoiding. The beauty of spinach is its versatility. You can steam it, saute it, blend it into smoothies, or eat it raw in salads. It's affordable, widely available, and gentle enough for seniors to digest. Unlike cruciferous vegetables, spinach doesn't produce heavy sulfur gases. Instead, it delivers freshness from the inside out. So remember this. Spinach isn't just good for your muscles, it's good for your confidence. By cleaning up odor-causing compounds and nourishing your blood, spinach helps seniors smell fresher and feel more comfortable every day. If you've ever worried about how you smell, adding spinach to your plate could be one of the simplest, most effective solutions. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now that we've covered the 3 worst and 3 best vegetables, let's bring it all together in the conclusion. We've covered a lot today. You've learned that some of the vegetables you thought were always healthy can actually work against you when it comes to body odor. Onions and garlic may be good for the heart but release sulfur that seeps into your sweat. Cabbage, broccoli, and cauliflower are packed with nutrients, but their sulfur gases can make odor worse. And asparagus, despite its elegance, leaves behind compounds that follow you long after the meal is over. But you've also discovered the good news. There are vegetables that fight odor instead of causing it. Parsley and mint act as natural deodorizers, neutralizing odor-causing compounds. Cucumber hydrates and cools your body, flushing out toxins before they escape through your pores. And spinach, rich in chlorophyll and magnesium, cleanses your system and helps you smell fresher every day. The lesson is simple. After 60, what you eat shows up, not just in your health, but in how you smell. Soap and deodorant can only go so far. True freshness starts inside your body, with the choices you make at the table. So tonight, when you prepare your dinner, ask yourself, is this meal going to protect my confidence or put it at risk? Every bite you take can either add to the problem or help you feel fresher, cleaner, and more comfortable in your own skin. If this video helped you, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 and tell me how I can improve. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss another tip designed to help seniors live healthier, fresher, and more confident lives. Because your health, to your confidence, and even the way you smell, it's all in your hands.